Derby County have to be Championship dark horses with this latest transfer update coming out of Derby County with news from Chelsea and Red Bull Salzburg. But what are the moves that Derby County are making? Now, obviously, over the course of the past week or so, Derby County have had a couple of bids rejected for the right-back Max Johnston, who is a Scottish international at just 21 years of age. They've also held talks with Chelsea over a move for Alfie Gilchrist, and they also look set to seal the signing of Bobby Clark over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, these are absolutely tremendous moves for Derby County, which, in my opinion, see them put themselves firmly in that conversation of Championship dark horses heading into 2025-26 as the season gets underway just this Friday. Now, it's a huge season, not just for Derby County, but also for a lot of teams in the Championship. And a lot of players in this Derby County side don't want that relegation battle that they had to deal with last season, and that's something that they're going to have to put right on the pitch this season. Now, obviously, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. We will be going live later on today to go through all of the Championship teams, all their transfers, and look ahead to this weekend's fixtures as we get the 2025-26 season underway. So if you have not done so already, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's going to be a preview and prediction video, so make sure you are here at 6 p.m. UK time, and let's get into it. Now, obviously for Derby, there's been a huge ton of moves made over the course of this summer. I think we've made 8 transfers so far, 4 of them being free transfers, obviously Ryan Brewster, Andy Vyman, Richard O'Donnell and Danny Barr, as well as the signings of Patrick Agyemang, Carlton Morris and Owen Beck on loan. David Ozo has also returned to the club. Some absolutely mega moves from Derby County, but this next set of moves are what's going to take Derby County from being a lower mid-table team to potentially the dark horses to snip in at 6th place this season. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Derby County are going to get playoffs, but they're certainly putting together a very, very good squad. Now, obviously, it was a few weeks ago now when we spoke about the Chelsea defender, Alfie Gilchrist. I'm pretty sure I say that wrong, and you lot will attack me down in the comments, but that is okay. But that's a move that Derby County are now looking at. Can play right back, can play in centre-half as well. And it sort of opens up that door for Derby County, where they maybe don't have to go out and get Max Johnston right now. But obviously, that's a move which Derby County have been looking at. Now, for me, bringing in a player like Alfie Gilchrist is a very, very good move for Derby. It's a player who's played at the level. We know what he's capable of, but the obviously big discussion on that is whether it's going to be a permanent or a loan signing, because in terms of a permanent move, it was reported a few weeks ago that that move would be worth upwards of £5 million, whereas we can go and get Max Johnston for probably less than £3 million. And for me, I just think the move for Johnston is one that makes a bit more sense in that regard. We're going to get onto him a little bit later on though, but I don't think you can doubt the quality that Derby County could bring in that regard, whether it be Gilchrist or whether it be Johnston. 2 very, very good fullbacks and very, very good players at this level. And obviously Johnston has played in the Champions League. Gilchrist has played at Chelsea, has played at Sheffield United. And it's 2 very, very good moves that ultimately make this Derby County and John Eustace side a much better team. Now, obviously, I put out a squad list of what I'd have should everybody be fit. And the amount of players that you sort of struggle to get into the starting 11, let alone on the bench, is actually quite ridiculous. And if we bring in players like this, it's only going to get more and more difficult. Now, obviously, over the course of the last 24 hours, there has been talks in regard to 21-year-old midfielder Bobby Clark from Red Bull Salzburg, who looks as if the deal is pretty much all said and done as I'm recording this video. But it's one of those for me where that is an unbelievable move for Derby. It's improving that midfield area. It's adding creativity. It's technical. It's flair. It's exactly what Derby County are dying for. And a season-long loan move for him to come to us is, for me, one of the best moves that Derby County can make this summer, because it adds to the creative spark. It adds to that sort of area where Derby County are sort of desperately in need of players right now, and he is definitely someone who can add to that. Now, the only issue with this, obviously, it is only a season-long loan, and is a player who I believe he still has 4 years left on his contract at Red Bull Salzburg. But if Derby County have a good season and go to the Premier League, who knows what could happen. He could end up being a permanent Derby player this time in a year. And obviously, we're going to have to wait and see how the season goes, because he might not be as good as some of us are expecting. He might even end up being better than some of us are expecting. And that's obviously the most interesting part about all these transfers is Patrick Agyemang isn't even fit yet. We're missing so many players, and the squad looks, in my opinion, for this Stoke City game to be absolutely brilliant. Now, if we do sort of, before we get into the next couple of players, if we do sort of go through that sort of match day squad that we could have should everybody be fit, you're looking at Zetterstrom in goal, you're looking at a back four of Wilson, Langas, Clark and Beck, you're looking at a midfield three of Adams, Ozo and Clark, you're looking at a front three of Brewster, Morris and Blackett-Taylor. You look then on the bench, you've got the likes of Kenzo, you've got Vyman, you've got Agyemang, you've got Jake Rooney, you've got Danny Bart. And this is without even mentioning a player like Max Johnston, a player like Lewis Travis who's being linked, a player like Alfie Gilchrist who could potentially join as well. And we're just in such a great position at the moment. And I think it's so different to where we was this time last year, because if you this time last year we was linked to a move for Bobby Clark, a permanent deal. He obviously ended up going to Red Bull Salzburg, but we was linked to that move, and I never sort of felt that it was possible, if I'm completely honest. I never felt like a move was possible for him to come and join us, because I just felt like the manager wasn't the right one. Whereas this year you could link us to anybody, genuinely anybody, and I don't think I'd be able to put is not going to want to come because of the manager. I don't think you'd get that this year, and I don't think I felt that with any of the players. Now, obviously, we spoke yesterday about Lewis Travis, another player who's been linked to Derby County, and a move which could be absolutely brilliant for Derby, because then you've got a midfield set of options of Vyman, Brewster, Clark, Kenzo, Adams as the 10s. You've then got the double pivot positions of Ozo, Thompson, Kenzo, Adams, Travis. Clark can play in there as well. You've got Thompson. We could just have some ridiculous options for Derby County as we sort of move forward this summer. And I honestly, I cannot wait to sort of see where Derby County do end up and sort of how this season goes on. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this live stream later, get you involved in looking at all the championship clubs and looking at sort of where Derby County sort of stack up, because it is a very, very interesting position to find ourselves in. But I think it's ultimately a very, very good one, and one which, as we sort of move forward into the next sort of phases of our development as a club, I think it can only get better. So obviously this video, we spoke about Johnston, we spoke about Clark, we spoke about Gilchrist, and we spoke about Lewis Travis. But how many of those deals are actually going to get done? Now, personally, I can't see us signing both Gilchrist and Max Johnston. I think it'll be one or the other. And although I believe that obviously both players certainly improve us, we then have 4 right backs, 5 right backs, and we don't need that. And for me, yes, you want strength in depth, but you want strength in depth across the course of every position on the pitch, not just in right back. I still think we're absolutely dying out for a left winger. Bobby Clark is a player who can play out there, but I think we're dying out for another left winger. I think Brewster will probably play on the right ahead of Jackson, but it's a big couple of weeks for Derby, and I think the moves we're making in regards to bringing in Bobby Clark is an absolutely ridiculous one. You look at the potential move of bringing in Max Johnston, you look at Alfie Gilchrist. It's some very, very, very good transfers which are only going to move Derby County to that next level. And if we can get those deals done, we're in a very, very good position. And I genuinely think that we're probably teetering on the edge of a playoff position should Derby County get that opportunity to sort of bring in all of these players that they're looking at. And obviously I don't think we'll sign everybody, but if we can get Clark and Johnston, I'm happy, very, very happy. And then I think we need to look at that left wing position, and it's going to be a very, very good search. It's going to be a very, very good transfer window. At the minute, this transfer window for me is looking, I'm going to say a B at the moment, because obviously Agyemang's not fit, and we've not necessarily seen full force of Andy Vyman yet, so we're still sort of heading towards the right areas. But I think we've made some very, very good moves, and I think come December, I don't think we're going to be looking behind us. I think we're certainly going to be looking up, and the January transfer window is hopefully going to be one which will move us further forward. Now, obviously, if you have not done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. If Bobby Clark is announced before 6 p.m. today, we will be live on this channel to discuss the move for Bobby Clark and everything else that we've discussed across the course of the last few days, and obviously answer a few of your questions. If not, then I will see you at 6 p.m. UK time as we go through the Championship, all the clubs, and do a prediction for where Derby County and all the other clubs in the league may finish.